welcome back to another episode of my Genshin Impact playthrough. Last time we figured out the host of the dream, and Charizard's alive! And I'm gonna go talk to Katheryne. It's Nita. Hello.
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Katheryne was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zero's festival. And Dunyarzad, did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the Traveler's favorite bench?
Her voice is so cute. I love Nahida. Man, I wish I would have pulled for her. Maybe next time around. I think over 50 wishes saved.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's alright.
Yeah.
After we parted on the last day of the Sub-Zero's festival, I left the city and saw what the Traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. And not a moment too soon.
Yay! We didn't want her to die.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions.
Oh, poor Nahida. It's okay. It's okay. I want to pat her on the head so bad. Pat, pat, pat. It's okay, Nahida.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
Oh yeah, about the dream.
At the Avidia Forest, there was this incense that made the Traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky. You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria. It seems like the Traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable. A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from King Deshret.
No.
King Deshret? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their... Okay, so... I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing... Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous origin. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the Academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it.
So they ignore Nahida, which is mistake one.
But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
But mistake two is them being little greedy gremlins and just pish posh, I'm too good for all of this.
So the tree in the vision was but even if you can't figure out what that the Traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. No, we must decipher its secrets. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Teyvat's.
Yeah, why do you look like
To be
Katheryne?
accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Katheryne's consciousness.
Oops. Sorry, Katheryne.
How did you do that? Poor Katheryne. Does this mean you can also occupy other people's consciousness? Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal.
It's a good thing I'm not wearing mine.
The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha term, I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
What?
Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Katheryne is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her.
Wait, what? Says Nyan puppet? What is that?
What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana? That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since.
Sorry, tightening the mic.
However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing. So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida? In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation. And I'm still
Yeah, you're a good
really
Archon, doesn't matter.
You got a lot of Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there.
Oh, yes,
There's
he's
never
fine.
been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line.
They seem pretty fishy from the get-go. Nahida, I don't know about all
I
that.
wonder what caused them to go down this path. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the Traveler hadn't broken the Sub-Zero Samsara, the situation could have become dark. I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
Well, yeah, duh.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Katheryne to join some kind of project. Could it be related? Regardless, I need to first investigate the
Yeah, why is
sage.
nobody-
You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up? It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection.
Yeah, they were all like, dreams are useless. And once you learn, you forget having dreams, when really it's just the Akasha that's taking them. So that's why children still have them, because they don't wear one.
Misdirection? The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru.
Stupid.
Even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come up... Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Yeah,
Got
no
it.
other questions.
I hope, to be honest, maintaining doing... Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sages. Go and get some sleep. What a relief.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
No, see.
Maybe you were sleepwalking.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
Okay, so they've pretty much confirmed that Katheryne is a robot. Why? Is Katheryne even real? Is there a real one? This is weird.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord...
Are we on a... Ooh, I think we're on a different, like... Okay, it's just like another quest. I think that's like a...
Finale, we haven't heard any...
Yeah, we're on our last one. Or not last one, but... Chapter 3.
Oh,
5.
we can't just keep waiting around like this. Let's go find Katheryne and pick up...
Yeah, hi Katheryne!
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Katheryne. Do you have any commissions for us today?
I haven't done my commissions for today.
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
Huh?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
Yeah.
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Okay.
Hey, that's not any better.
Yeah, mercenaries and orphanages don't go together.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
You're Nahida.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
She's so cute. I love her so much.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Katheryne wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she said... so it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream.
They can't take away the
It was another dream about the Subzerus Festival, except it was a happy one. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked really happy. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Subzerus Festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity? No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check. Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Yeah, so we better hurry up.
But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out... Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage... So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sage's activity. Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Katheryne for a little while.
Oh, boy. Well, that'll be a problem for next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye!